Story 1 by user/memelord83. Started school, period 6 Friday. Never have I been so bored the teacher was talking about trigonometry. Me and my friends were passing notes around the class. I passed a note to my friend across the class. I had to pass it over one row on, and the end of the row was Dan. Dan was the class snitch. He never had any friends, but did have his brother Jack, who also seemed to have no friends. Both hanged out with each other, always talking about this cult that practiced these rituals. Out there it sounded, and probably was BS, but anyways, back to the note passing. My friend John was awaiting my note, but he noticed Dan was sitting in the path of the note. John mouthed that he would take the blame for it, but I didn't really care about being in trouble. But today at period 6, I didn't really feel like staying after school. So I passed the note over the row, and it got to Dan. As I thought, he stood straight up, shouted at me, and Frank was passing notes. I whispered, "Fuck," under my breath. My friend Lee didn't stand up. So the teacher told me to go to the office. I flipped Lee off as I walked out. He was giggling and said I'd punch him next time I see him in a joking way. I walked out of the office. My school is a big building, 3 floors. I was on the 3rd floor on the other side. On the other side of the office, it took me over 20 minutes to walk there. Halfway through the bell rang. I could hear stamping of the shoes and pupils. As the hall emptied, there was 2 people, Dan and Jack, but there was a hooded man or woman. I couldn't tell. He or she grabbed Dan and Jack, pulled them into a bathroom. I'd never seen someone so happy to be dragged into a toilet by a hooded figure. Sneaked into the bathroom at our school. There's this little room at the door before the bathroom. I camped in there for a minute until I heard someone. So you have been researching us, haven't you? Yes, came a reply. The voice spoke again. Do you want to join us? Yes, came a squeaky voice of Dan and Jack. It was silent. I was so scared I didn't notice it was silent. Then I heard 3 voices whisper. Then that sets it. Miss Brandy was one of us. The sound of a blowtorch setting alight. I could hear the sound of Dan and Jack jumping up and down with excitement. Chant started with 3 men and women. It was a few Latin words, Novater acum et ad principales. I didn't know what it means, but I still don't. As I heard the chant stop, I heard a crisp spittle of skin and ear-piercing screams of 2 boys. It screamed me, and still haunts me this day. I heard the scream stopped and headed out the door. I shuffled out of the room and sprinted down the corridor as 5 people came out of the bathroom and the fire exits. The next day, missing poster of Dan and Jack. The news was trying to find them on Monday. They never showed up, and we never heard them to this day. But I always wonder what happened to them.
Story 2 by Sweet Randall 13. So I recently just got into Reddit, and I have been reading as many no-sleep stories as possible. I'm not a writer. I'm just your average college student who has a lot more downtime at work, and so I decided to share my weird story with you. Let me know if something seems off, and I'll try to clarify. Here goes nothing. When Luna told me about how she was haunted, I called complete bullshit. I guess let's just start there first. It was the end of October with finals coming up. Luna, my roommate, and I went to the corner restaurant and had some falafels for our hungover breakfast. We love Halloween. Our whole apartment was decorated to the nines with Halloween decor we got from the thrift shop. We somehow ended up on a conversation of hauntings and scary things that happened to us. She began to tell me the story. When she was a baby, her and her mother moved into a new home that was foreclosed due to a murder-suicide happening there. Apparently, the dad had killed the mom and their children, and then himself afterwards. Luna said she always felt the presence in that home, and it got worse when she grew older. She said she could tell when it was the mother or the father there. She said the woman was very motherly, like would cover her up at night and brush her hair in the face, while the father on the other hand was mean and would knock over dishes and even furniture in the home, and open all the cupboards to frighten her and her mother. Luna's mother would stage the home constantly, do anything to keep her child safe. But they ended up moving out years later. Again, I was calling bullshit like it was my job. I love Luna with all my heart, but damn, was that a good story? Story, not real. Until I did some Googling. I go to the home and it turns out she was completely telling the truth, that there was a whole ass crime report lying out the details of this murder-suicide. That's when I got chills. Anyways, finals were approaching and all three of my roommates and I were bugging. We lived in the university apartments, which was great because we all had our own rooms and bathrooms. Each room, thankfully, was soundproof so the major music could play their instruments without bugging their other roommates. Luna's room was right next to mine. And then we were separated by a living room where the other two roommates were next to each other. One night I was laying in bed playing on my phone, scrolling aimlessly through Twitter when I heard, "She's motherly touching me." I froze. What the fuck did I just hear? I immediately texted Luna and a message is fast for you guys who aren't Team iPhone. Immediately get a text from her that popped up at the same time. Me, did you just say something? Luna, did you just yell my name? Me, get in here now. Luna busts under and it is straight from my bed. Shivering, we both were stunned and don't know what to say. She begins. Did you call my name? No, I thought I heard you yell something to me. Don't fuck with me. Someone was next to me screaming, Luna, 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 Luna. Over and over again. Me, Luna, I heard you scream. She's motherly touching me. Just like what you told me yesterday at the restaurant. Don't fuck with me. This isn't funny. I swear, I'm not joking. Please tell me you were saying my name. We both came to realize that neither of us were lying. We both heard something. We couldn't sleep. Luna and I laid awake in my bed with the door wide open all night, too scared to get up and shut it or even shut our eyes. Morning came and we both had classes. We tried to brush it off as like it was nothing and go on with our day. Now it was afternoon. My door was shut and I heard a knock. I yelled, "Come in." No one entered. Again, I hear a knock. Duh, they can't hear me. It's soundproof. I get up to my bedroom door. I open it and no one's there. I knocked on Luna's door and enter her room. I asked if she knocked and replied, no. I shrugged it off and tried to pretend like it was nothing. I go back to my room to continue studying for my final in 2 days, leaving my door open. Luna was in the kitchen making some ramen. With the way my bed was angled, I can see her perfectly. She starts walking to my room and suddenly we hear a thud. She froze dead in her tracks. Right in my front door, I asked, "What the fuck was that?" And she didn't reply. We both looked and our broom had fallen, but it was strange. The broom had been set in the corner of the kitchen. If it had fallen, someone had to have knocked it over. It was in its opposite way. Not like it slid on the floor, if that makes sense. Again, we tried to brush it off like it was nothing. We study, and we both didn't have time to get any sleep about this. And yet, it's 3 a.m., and we both decided to try and sit on the couch watching The Office until we could no longer open our eyes. It was probably 4:30 in the morning when we finally drifted off, and I heard three distant things. We had a decoration by our front door, which had a bell attached to the end. Luna heard it, too, because she immediately sat up and looked at me. We didn't know what to do at this point. We heard creaks like footsteps in the kitchen. And then another three distinct things. We huddled on the end of the couch, terrified, and closed our eyes, even more terrified to watch what could happen. I don't think I slept for over 40 hours, and neither did Luna. We decided we had to do something. We both had finals the next day, coincidentally on Halloween. And we needed to sleep for our sanity. We decided to call a church down the street to see if they do a blessing of the home or some shit. We had no idea what we were doing, just what we saw in movies. The lady was snippy on the phone because it was a Methodist church, and they apparently don't do that. She told us to call a Catholic church and ask for the priest. I wish I was joking. I felt like an idiot explaining to the poor priest what was happening. But he believed us 100%. He was coming by the next day to help us out. Weird part was, I asked my two roommates if it had been happening to them, and they both said no, and looked at me as if I was crazy, which I totally felt like it. But alas, the priest texted me, and he was outside waiting for me to let him in. He came in, and we told him what had been happening in this apartment. Luna told him the story about her home, and basically, he said, okay, let's get to work. Luna had picked up 2 necklaces for us, although it's not very religious, and you know, I'm not very religious, and Luna is Jewish, from a Christian store down the road. He went through each room, saying a prayer and spraying holy water and salt. He then blessed each necklace and gave us a giant-ass crucifix, which I assume he brought from the church. Lastly, he blessed Luna herself, and then went on his way. Good day and goodbye. We both kind of laughed at that priest came in and blessed our home, and on fucking Halloween. The weird part was, nothing ever happened again. No noises, no knocks, no dinging from the bell. Fucking weird, right? To this day, if I ever catch a weird vibe or I'm freaked out, I'll sleep with a damn necklace on, and I feel 100% safe. My necklace disappeared 2 weeks ago. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button down below. And Alex, what else should they do?
I think all of you should hit the bell, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, tell your brother, tell your mother, tell your father, tell your neighbors, cousins, dogs, uncles, cousins, nephews, dog houses, neighbors, friend, I don't know.
Alex, you did it completely wrong. You have to hit that bell.
No. Darn! I mean, sharing.
Keep on tapping it, guys. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Or will we?
Wahaha!